Greetings to whomsoever watcheth yonder this video here, and yes, I'm going to tell you a bedtime story. The story is called Way Too Much Lag to Do Anything. Gonna have to do all sorts of exciting things to avoid this, and I don't exactly know what, and it's gonna be impossible to play. Just like last time. Completely out of nowhere, I'm just going to mention the fact that back in August or so, I did actually record an episode 36, which involved this level and the one after it, I believe. But due to myself being not very apt at this game, I just sort of made no progress. It was 20 minutes long, I didn't do anything, and it was awful in every way, shape, form, construct, and perambulatory exercise. So, yeah, that was a bit of a problem. And that turned out to be what would end up the last recording session for about many time. This level, I know it's possible, I've done it. Hopefully there won't be too much more ghost sillying in future, but you know, there's not much we can do really. If I sound lethargic and tired, then that's to be expected, since, you know, it's half term and I've realised the teenager's eternal desire of not sleeping ever, which is pretty great. So no, it's not very great, but hey, we can pretend to pretend. Gosh, this lag, it makes it virtually unplayable. Am I just gonna have to do this silently and have a recording session later on? I haven't a clue, but you know, stuff and things, because honestly, stuff and things. Because honestly, stuff and repetition adds. There must be a better way of doing this, surely, because there's just far too much lag to comprehend one's own mindscape anymore. We're back in the 90s, and I was almost never in there, so I can't remember it. So what am I on about? No one knows what anyone's on about anymore. The world is full of AOL floppy disks that no one cares about. And I, for one, approve. Apparently. I've decided arbitrarily. Did AOL exist outside of America? Was A actually standing for artificially online rather than just America online? Well, no one really knows. Shall anyone ever know? The knowledge can be gained, but only if you are in possession of sufficient monetary requirements. That's what they all say, and unfortunately when people say things, that generally ends up being say-worthy in the mind. I actually managed to dodge that, which is lag complaint number 84. Wow, got to the end of the level, and it only took several times longer than it should have done, because of my normal arbitrary complaint system. Please file a complaint and tell your parents that they forgot how to breathe, and that could be highly damaging to their health. Right, this level, I can't remember it at all, I just remember that I had a bit of a hellish time in it, so there you go. Why did I get that dragon coin? Because I do not have any idea. But apparently I did. And apparently the world is unchanged for such reasons. My microphone is covered in tape because my dad sat on it at some point. So, and I have not been able to come upon any glue in the meanwhile, so I'm just going to have to keep covering it in tape over and over again, and this is impossible. Is there some way I can reduce the RAM usage of a screen recorder? I have a clue. I wish I knew. I wish there was stew, and I wish the world had the flu. Alright, I think I might just end the recording after this game over, which is bound to happen, and see if I can mess with some settings, but I kinda doubt it. It's a bit of a awful, terrible in every single way ending to the series, which promised so much, but retained so little over time. Midpoint. What a useful midpoint. Oh no. Invisible floor gimmick, that sure sounds fair. Well, it is fairly fair if we can trust the instincts of yonder dry bone based camouflagery. That's not a word. Alright, let's try that again, hopefully with slightly more non-terribleness. Meanwhile, back at the midpoint, oh, remembrances are returning. I think I remember trying to get into that pipe just beneath the midpoint, and yeah, so what I did was I lowered the recording quality to medium, and it's had somewhat of an effect, but still virtually unplayable. Oh, when will this end? Nobody knows. The world will never know. The oyster of the world, which is contained within your forethoughts mobile, will never know. And the unfortunacy of such things may be slight, but it is surely there. Right, let's try actually seeing where we're going this time. Even though the spikes are invisible, which is plainly the world's worst level design decision ever, but, well, graphical design decision. But hey, there you go. Where's this door lead? Somewhere new. We've got to find all the P-switches to find the P-switches and explore the cat planet to find the reference. Well, just looks like it's going to be more and more of this the whole time, so yeah, meet you back when I get somewhere. Right now I'm going to admit I did bring in an external cape to get to this point without dying, but it's worth it. Or was it? No one really knows. This is going to be a really dull episode, I think. Based on the fact that it's just me constantly complaining about how much slowdown is caused by my computer while it's trying to play this thing and record at the same time. Oh. To go back to the days of the old computer when I couldn't actually upload videos to YouTube without using someone else's, so that was a bit of a bust really, but it was better in every other way. So, I assume what I'm trying to do is locate the location of some switches with the letter P on. I can't blame the lag for everything here, but I'm gonna try my hardest.
And if someone complains, then someone has complained. And the complaints locker of the world is overtaken by love of all stuff, which is not lovely in and of itself. So there you go. So there you go. So there...
Yu-Gi-Oh! What even is that? I know it's a thing that exists, I know that there's like cards, but I haven't a clue the connotations of anything which involves, nor the circumstances of the proliferation of the chiasmata of the. I'm going to say as many completely nonsense things as possible, because if I don't, I'm going to be chastised by myself for not talking enough. So it's this or silence. And I think I know what most people would prefer, but I am not most people, for I am only myself. Time to wait for the switch to run out is the most exciting part of the video, because it involves the timer slowly decreasing in decreasement. and the world slowly proliferating in proliferation. Right, so what do you do with this key? Don't ask me, I'm only the Tolkien Meister. This is not going to work, this is not going to work. It didn't work. I got a mushroom out of it though. So, obviously I'm not going to be getting the secret exit, probably in this video, and certainly not on this particular attempt. But I hope to find the normal one. At some point, once I get into this door. Right, so is this one of the places which it looks like it's somewhere else, but actually it's death? Oh no. Right, yep.
This is what I was fearing, this is what I remembered. I remembered it being terrible, and it is terrible. It's truly terrible in every way. Just don't have enough P-switches, it just doesn't work. Unless what you're supposed to do is go through the room, go through the pipe, so that you can duplicate the P-switch and use it twice. That would be a solution that worked. So let's try it. I'm sounding slightly unsure because, you know, that pipe doesn't look like it actually enables you to go into it. But I guess we will just have to see. The visuals of sight will be obtained, presumably by me, but possibly by someone else. On the other hand, I could just look up what the solution for all this nonsense is, and just do it that way, but it feels cheap. It does not feel
genuine. That's not what we're meant to do. We're meant to go up this pipe, which is impossible to go into, so you get trapped in one of the BBC's tips. While you're here, let's watch some video clips. Anyone remember that? I know, I do. Yep, it's just going to end up being this over and over again. And there's nothing I can do about it. Oh dear. Oh dear indeed. Right, so that's where you're meant to bring the key. How do you get the key there is a different matter entirely. Right, presumably you want to go into that pipe, and in order to do that you need to use the coins, make a bridge, P-switch, all that good stuff. Where'd you get the P-switch from though? Where on earth would you get a P-switch? There's no invisible blocks. There's no nothing. It's just nonsense. This level doesn't make any sense. I really could look it up, but why? Why do I need to in order to understand the wonders of the 7 ancient worlds? I don't know. See when I make more progress, I guess? I don't know! Right, so during my wanderings I found that if you go in here, it's the end. So I'm not sure how I managed not to find that my first run through, but thankfully this means I've got a save point, and that means that hopefully finding the secret exit will be slightly less daunting than before, since now I've got to save and I don't have to redo this level over here all the time. Although I'll be honest, it's just become pretty trivial at the moment because I just know what I'm doing. But secret exit, I just have no clue. I tried in that room with a fake floor, I tried taking a cape and spinning my way over, and it turns out there's a door there, but the door isn't actually on solid ground. The ground it's on is also fake. So yeah, I'm just going to show you probably how I get this free cape here. It's not exactly difficult, it's fairly trivial to get. It's right at the beginning, and it's quite near to the end of the game, so you know. So, we're doing lots of sewing. It is the sewing bee machine, hour, power, confusation, etc. So yeah, that's how you get the cape. It's really easy. I'm glad there's a cape source like that, because I don't think there's one like that previously in the game. So anyway. Alright. Next idea is to go in that one other door in this place. So I don't think you know which one I'm talking about. Anyway, I'll tell you when we get there. So there you go. Right, so yeah, that door. This door. Have I ever been in it? I don't know. Let's find out what happens if you go inside. Back to the midpoint. What a bust. Wow, so, I obviously need to go down to that pipe down there, or I come out from that pipe down there with the key. When you go from the green pipe with the thing and the thing and the thing and the thing. But how and where and if? So many questions. So few answers. The world exists, I assume. Right, so one thing left to try, I don't know. Press the P switch in random places in here and hope another one appears randomly.
Convenient would be the wrong word, but a bit of a cop-out might just serve as a bobby. I'm yodering my word order here, and there's nothing you can do about it. No, nothing whatsoever. No, clearly there is another P switch in here. Where do you get it from? How can you get to there? It doesn't make any sense, and I'm going to stop recording again and bash my head against this for another few minutes as I try and figure out what is going on, so yeah, see you there.
Alright, so progress report number 84,006. If I found out that if you press the P switch and then get the coins and then come back into this room and press the P switch again, then it stays pressed, which is interesting. So, if you get those coins, and then you go through this door, then you're back in this room.
Except it's actually a different one, because if you go in here in this version, then you can see, look up there, the blocks. There's less of them, and you can look. I collected the coins, so that means there's less blocks. And now time to die in an embarrassing way. So yeah, you get a mushroom here because safety purposes. Safety.
As they say in the world of the competition where the word safety gets 8th place. But you see what I'm doing? Okay, yeah. Hopefully you do, and if you don't, then I pity the fool, etc., etc., or something. I don't know. Yeah. Get back to that position, I guess. Wow, such a difficult puzzle. I wonder how I will solve it. Wow, that was difficult. I am impressed I managed to solve that difficult puzzle. Right. Not to be ready for anything. Such as getting killed in a stupid way. Oh no, I've got to do the whole thing all over again. Ah, this is the not fun level in the slightest. It just isn't. I suppose it's well placed for a final world level, but seriously, why? Why does it make me do this? Ah, well. Right, back here after many more face-bashing attempts. It's just... solving the puzzle is in and of itself very testing and not exactly easy by any stretch of the imagination. And then you've just got all these horrible, unpredictable generators to worry about here. And it just doesn't feel well done, well executed. I mean, it's a cool idea, you've got to go through the same thing twice. But that's the problem, you've got to go through the same thing twice. And that doesn't sound, to me, very fun. So you go through here, and you got the key, and then you're here. And it's like, wow! Pay attention to the rest of the level, you should know where you... Yes, I do know where I need to take this. How do I get there, though? No, this is not good. Obviously it's not asking me to go up there. Oh, can you go in the cut pipe? No, just... This is infuriating in the extreme. I am so tempted to use save states right now. I'm not going to though, because principles, but still. I mean, I replayed the entirety of this game without save states, including that one castle number 4 with the ghost boss thing, which I totally cheesed the first time. And now I'm running out of time, and I'm almost certainly just going to die of timeout, but I've got things to say, so I'm going to say I've finished saying those things. Still though, this level, what is it? Alright, so I'm back here at last. Where am I meant to go from here? Question for the ages. Question called death. Ugh. Great. Great! Why? Alright, I hate to admit it, but I looked up the solution, and yep, this is a brilliant level. It turned out everything involving all that duplicated piece, which is complete red herring. You've just got to go over the ghosts, and there's the door at the end of the end of the end of the end. And that definitely takes effort, so what can I do? All I can do is just cut to the end at this point. I can't think of anything else to do. It's just the lag will make it impossible for me to spin jump over all those. And yep, that's it. So see you in 20 more minutes at least, until when I get this working finally. You didn't miss much. Right, let's go in here with this piece, which... where does this lead? It leads back here. That's not what I remember. Clearly I didn't go far enough, so let's try and go all the way this time. I thought I did, but I hadn't, so... Take 7 trillion. Alright, so it turned out I remembered what the solution was. Wrong. You've got to press the P-switch in here. Wow, blocks. And you climb up the blocks. And then it gives you a key, and you go through there. And suddenly you're here. Wow. That wasn't obtuse and stupid in every way, shape, form possible. And then you just die. Wow, terrific. Why is there an eerie generation here? It's just, it ruins everything. It ruins the entire experience. As if it wasn't ruined already by this idiotic level design. Oh wow, I'm cheery today, aren't I? Right, what exciting new way will I find to die this time? Let's find out. All I know is this is a stupid level and I want it done forever. Right, that's up there, okay. And knowing is half the battle. Why? I don't know who made this game, but why did you think that was a good idea? And all that to skip one level. Worth it. Definitely worth it. I'm so glad I played that. No, of course I am. I mean, sometimes you've got to go through stupid challenges and look up the solutions. I mean, that was a thing in the olden days as well. I mean, there's plenty of completely obtuse things, like in, for example, the original Zelda. Completely cryptic clues, which no one would have any clue about, so, you know, in the playgrounds or in Nintendo Power, people would exchange hints about what exactly you're meant to do, and you'd have strategy guides and all sorts, and you weren't necessarily expected to figure out the thing yourself. So what I'm doing here, I'm using my resources, I'm using the internet, I'm not using tool assistance because that is not part of the original console. But this is part of the real, genuine experience, looking stuff up, looking solutions up. I looked up the solution, it was still a real chore to get through, but it's done now. End of rant. I don't think I'm going to do any more recording today. I've got quite tired of that. See you guys next time. Oof.